Welcome and welcome back to my 2 cents. My name is, and it is Cents, Cents, not Sense. I think I may have spelled it wrong, but I'm just giving my 2 cents, right? So today I am coming back for a review on Con Air. This movie was released in 1997. Just want to give a disclaimer. Nicolas Cage. I absolutely love Nicolas Cage. Um, and this movie did not disappoint. So the characters are Nicolas Cage plays Cameron Poe, Monica Potter plays Trisha Poe, John Cusack is U.S. Marshal Vince Larkin, John Malkovich is Cyrus the Virus Grissom, Steve Buscemi is Garland Green. Danny Trejo is Johnny 23. Bing Rames is Nate or down or wait a minute. I think it's Damon Dog. Damon Dog. Dave Chappelle is Crackhead Joe. Rachel Ticotin is the guard Sally Bishop. Colin McElroy is DEA agent Duncan. I'm sorry, it's not Colin. His name is Combe. Mikel Ted Wilkinson. No, it's Williamson. He plays Baby O. Jose Zuniga. He plays DEA agent Willie Sims. So Nicolas Cage had went off to the army, and he had graduated, and he went home to see because him and Trisha were married. He went home. He went to the bar to see his wife. He had just made it home, so trouble was brewing. Like soon he walked in the door, it was these guys up to no good. And so he trying to spend time with Trisha. So here comes this guy to start trouble. Threw money at him basically to start the trouble. So I really didn't see why he got in trouble. Okay, so the guy just kept on pushing and pushing and pushing, and then so they get ready to leave. It was the end of Trisha's shift, and they leave. Well, they get to the car. They run to the car because it was raining real bad. And the guys pop up, and they was like, "We thought we would teach you a lesson or something." He said, "Really, Nick? Really, Cameron could have got in the car because that's what Trisha was saying. Cameron just get in the car, and then he could have just got in the car, but he didn't. So the three men attacked him, and then when he fought back." He ended up killing one. Trisha ran to get help, and so he went to court. Actually, I think his lawyer was some crap because his lawyer was like, plead guilty, and he kept telling him, I'm not going to plead guilty. And his lawyer was like, well, plead guilty and you'll get 4 years. And then he went in there and pled guilty, and they gave him no less than 7 to 10 years. So the lawyer was crap. He was trash. And so the judge was like, well, since you've been in the army, you are considered, like a deadly weapon, that you use deadly force. And so, like, no one took into consideration that these men came and messed with him. No one seemed to have took in consideration that. So in the beginning, he's writing home. Well, he wrote home the whole time. He was writing home. Trisha finally had a baby because she was pregnant. She was pregnant with Casey. And so he was writing home. He was writing home to Trisha. He was writing home to Casey, and they both was writing him back. And finally, he get a release date. And so him and Baby O were good friends. And Baby O had said he don't know when he will be able to get parole papers. He don't know. And so Cameron was going home. Baby O was getting transferred to another prison. So, okay, this is what didn't make sense, but so they transferring prisoners on the plane, but they also have people that are being released from prison on the same plane with these deadly criminals. And when I tell you it didn't make sense, and so DEA, DEA agent Duncan he got on my last nerve because he wanted to put undercover on the plane, which was played by Jose Zuniga, and it just didn't go well. Like it went sour real fast. Like, okay, so everybody going, okay, so the flight takes off. Okay, Baby O had already told Sally, the guard, that he need his insulin medicine. They didn't give it to him the night before. He told him that on the bus. Then she said they'll give it to him in the plane, on the plane. And so he said he needs medicine. Cyrus and the rest of them are on the plane. They are planning to take over the plane. So now Cameron is due to be released from prison. They have taken over the plane, and it's a mess. And the undercover agent is there on the plane too. So the men, DEA, Larkin, and all them, of course they go back to their cells once they realize the plane has been hijacked to see if they left any kind of maps or anything behind. And they left a bomb to detonate, and they did leave like where they was gonna go, what was they gonna do, and so now they have taken over the plane. Johnny Trejo is trying to, he's trying to get the guard by herself so he can take advantage of her. It's a whole big mess, and so they were going to have to make a stop. And so at this point, Baby O was so sick. They picked 7 men. They said 7 people have to get off the plane. Cameron Poe could have gotten off the plane, right? He could have got off the plane because the DEA agent jumped up and grabbed Joe, played by Dave Chappelle, grabbed him, and Cyrus was like, "I don't care about him. I don't care about him," and shot him. So then they shoot the undercover agent, and then the undercover agent had a gun, which he was not supposed to have a gun, but the DEA Duncan snuck him a gun. So now he dead. Cyrus shot him, and he's dead. And 7 people supposed to get off. Cameron could have gotten off at that point, because they started calling people to get off. They said 7 people got to get off, but Cameron knew that, he stayed for the safety of that female officer and his friend Baby O. And so, one of Cyrus's people were looking through the boxes and stuff, and told Cameron, you lied, you supposed to be released today and all this stuff. Why didn't you get off, and blah blah blah. Like, so when they had to go down to get air, they had to go down to get they was meeting Francisco, and they had to gas up. And so while they was doing that, like, the DEA agents was trying to locate them and stuff like that. So Cameron, at this point they had to stop. So when they had shot Joe, played by Dave Chappelle, Cameron had put recording in his clothing, so when they find him, they would know, they would see what happened. So he was trying to work with the DEA people to let them know what was going on. Finally, so when they went down to reload, when they went down to regas up or whatever, officers went down. They had the one officer, they had stitched his mouth, so he couldn't tell what was going on. So, of course, by the time they find out that what's going on, they back in the air. So they went, it was a big old sandstorm. They released 7 people, and then they stuffed it, taped their mouths up and stuff so they couldn't tell, and they left. But then they had to get some gas and stuff, right? So they down getting gas. So Cameron is trying to help all that he can, as far as he's he's chaining the plane down, so that it won't go back in the air. And I mean, he's trying to do all that he can, the little crazy stuff that he can. He's trying to do it. And so because he know if that plane get away, that's it. That's it. Like, they all did, right? So Cyrus had stopped to get Francisco, and Francisco double crossed him, and then he ended up killing him. Well, he ended up, well, Francisco got jumped into a helicopter, and the helicopter crashed. So that was that. And then the Jose Zuniga DEA agent Willie Sims got killed on the plane. And so, like I said, Cameron Poe was trying to do everything in his power to disrupt the plans. He was trying to do everything he can. And like I said, they had actually brought it to his attention because, he tried to, when they came down, he ran to try to look for a safety, what is it called, first aid kit, so he could try to get some insulin into Baby O, because Baby O was at this point was, it was deadly. Like, he was trying to help Baby O, and that's why he didn't get off the plane, because he knew that Johnny 23 was gonna mess with the female officer, make that Johnny 24, and that he knew that they were gonna kill Baby O, because Baby O needed his medicine. So he was doing all that he can. Like I said, this was his day to be released. And they had their own drive. They had their own person to fly the plane. They had, they was trying to go. They was trying to get up out the U.S. And so, because they had put all the worst convicted felons in Louisiana on the plane to be transferred along with the people who was supposed to be who was being released or going to a different jail. And the officers, DEA Larkin had said, why would you do that? Like, why would you transfer all these people at the same time? They stopped. They got Garland Green. He was a killer. He killed a whole family. Like they put the worst of the worst people all on one plane, along with Cameron Poe, who was being released. So now, and they killing people left and right. They took over the plane, and Cameron Poe was trying to do all that he could to alert them where the plane was at and what was going on. And so on the ground, like I said, he was trying. So he tied a rope around like a steel beam or something, so it would be heavy, lifting up. And then the plane came down in Vegas. The plane came down in Vegas. At this point, everybody just trying to survive. Cameron and John Malkovich played Cyrus, ended up fighting. Larkin came, everybody came, showed up because they saw what was happening. Everybody showed up. He had his plane. This is the kicker. Cameron had put the rope around DEA Duncan's car, so the plane went up in the air, and his car went up in the air too. So, because he drove a little red sports car, and so but yeah, Cameron was trying to help. Like, this, Cameron was actually due to be released, but he knew if he got off that plane, Baby O wasn't gonna make it, nor that female guard was gonna make it. So he was trying to stay and do all he could to help save them. And so they had went to Cameron's wife, and they was like, why wouldn't he get off the plane? Is he a part of it? And she was like, she don't know. And so, but he only stayed to try to help the lady guard and his friend Baby O. And so, like I said, the plane came down in Vegas. Cyrus the Virus and Cameron had a fight. They fought, and the plane rested. Water coming everywhere. And then that's how it went off. And then Trisha, of course, and Casey showed up. And Cameron was looking a hot mess. His rabbit that he had bought her, it was in tip-top shape when he first bought it. It was dirty and nasty. that rabbit had been through it, right? But he was trying to bring her home something. And it was her birthday. So that was the first time he was going to meet her, and it was her birthday. So he wanted to take something home to this little girl. And again, he was the hero in all of this because he was the one who weighed down the plane. He was the one trying to tell them what was going on. He was the one trying to, be there for his friend Baby O and that female guard. He tried to do all he could to make sure that that plane did not go back in the air, because he knew if that plane went back in the air, they was gone. Everybody on that plane was gone. Cyrus and his crew was gonna kill everybody, and that was that. So that's why he stayed. So this was Con Air. The movie came out in 1997. Nicolas Cage is the main star, and I absolutely love this movie. I can watch Con Air anytime, anytime. I absolutely love Con Air. So this has been my 2 cents. Thank you for watching. If you have any requests, any movies you would like for me to review, drop them down in the comment. Please give me a like, comment, and give me a thumbs up. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all in my next review. Bye.